I am going to dive straight into this topic today, which has become like pretty much a very contentious one. Is IRCC going to go through your LinkedIn profile? Are they going to go through your social media platforms, profiles or accounts? Can they check whatever you have been doing in your social media accounts? And so many people saying so many different things. Oh, well, how can they do this? They don't have the access to it. What if I can enter this? And what if I do this? And what if I haven't updated my profile? Or what, blah, 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 right? So many different things. So many people saying that this document that I'm going to show you, actually, let me just show you straight away. This is the most recent PFL, which is dated today, 17th of March. I haven't received it. This is not for my client. One of my fellow RCICs have shared this with me because of a certain discussion we were having earlier. But I have seen similar PFLs earlier. So this is basically saying to the applicant that it appears that you may not meet the requirements of immigration to Canada because I've identified concerns regarding your claimed work experience, Canadian work experience, right? It says, according to your application, you have declared full-time employment at a company X, from X date to Y date to present. However, it appears that you have been employed at a different company as in a different position since this date, since whatever the date till present, right? And this is what is reflected on your LinkedIn profile. Work experience has not been declared in your express entry profile. This raises a concern regarding potential overlap and accuracy of your work experience. And therefore, I'm requesting for clarification and supporting documentation. You have 14 days, after which I will make my decision the way I would like to. That's what the officer is saying. Okay. Simple thing here is that you have a duty to candor when you're doing your express entry application or when you're doing any immigration application, study permit, visit visa, work permit, it doesn't matter, PR application. You have a duty to candor, which basically means that you are responsible to present an honest, truthful application without withholding any facts and providing genuine documentation to support your application. That is your responsibility when you make any immigration application. And then when you sign off on your application, you pretty much are telling IRCC, yes, I authorize you to do any kind of background checks on me. You are more than willing to allow them to do all those kind of background checks on you. And then when IRCC actually goes out looking for that information about you, then you shouldn't be too surprised as to why they are looking out for that information, because that's their job, right? They want to make sure that whoever is coming into Canada, in the country, has been vetted, has been checked. So as far as this LinkedIn profile or Facebook profile, the point is not that they will refuse your application outright and at the outset, the minute they don't find information on your LinkedIn profile. No, that's not the point. You guys have completely missed the point, okay? The point is that they do check your social media profiles. That's the first thing. Secondly, when you have mismatch, when there is inconsistency, when you say different things on your application and you are saying different things in your LinkedIn profile for that matter, or your Instagram or your Twitter or your Facebook or wherever you like to fancy with your imagination, then it creates a conflict. And then IRCC is always going to come out and ask you what the hell's going on, right? Let me give you a few examples. Now, you say in your PR application, and nowadays, we have so many cooks nowadays, right? So too many cooks spoil the broth. So let's take an example of a cook, my favorite subject for the day. Let's say in your PR application, you are saying that you are a cook, but in your LinkedIn profile, you are calling yourself a food services supervisor. It's a conflict. What exactly are you? All right. And you are saying it is in the same place. That here I am in my PR application, I'm saying I'm a cook in restaurant this, in that you're saying I'm a food service supervisor in the same restaurant. Conflict of information, right? Now IRCC doesn't have any faith and trust in what you're saying. Why is IRCC doing this, and why can they trust? How can they trust LinkedIn profile? And it's my wish that I can write whatever I want to write on my LinkedIn profile. Of course, it's your wish. Nobody is pointing a finger at you and saying it's not your, that you do not have the right to present your profile in whatever manner. By all means, do. IRCC is saying we don't have a problem with that. We have a problem with the information that you're presenting to us in the PR application. That's where the problem is. The problem is not in what you are doing with your LinkedIn profile. For people who are still confused or thinking, does IRCC actually go through my LinkedIn profile? Will they? I have already cancelled my LinkedIn profile. I don't have an active LinkedIn profile. So the point is not only about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just one aspect, because LinkedIn is a professional networking platform. People go there to search for jobs, primarily business networking, right? Professional networking. So that automatically becomes one platform where IRCC would check. So this is not just about LinkedIn profile. And I'm not trying to fear monger here. I'm not trying to create panic over here. All I'm trying to do is bring awareness so that you guys can get your application done correctly. I mean, what I'm interested is in having more of you do a decent job of your application. Don't commit fraud. Don't provide fake documentation. Don't provide misleading information, because the chances are that Big Brother is watching. And sometimes this wheels of this motion, the motion of this law are moving very, very slowly. Sometimes it's very irritating. I mean, a lot of you would say so many people have become PR, right, without their documents being checked. You might know of so many people who have fake documentation, fake work experience, but they manage to get away. But that doesn't mean everybody will get away. Yes, it happens in such bureaucracies and such big organizations. A lot of people do tend to get away. But please do not think IRCC is going to take it lying down. This is new version of IRCC. IRCC is not playing around. Don't play around with IRCC anymore. Yes, a lot of people have done a lot of things, but at this point of time, IRCC means serious business. This is not that anything goes, no matter what you provide, and it will be fine. Now, a lot of people are thinking, I don't have a LinkedIn profile, what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. They will figure out a different way of validating your background. Your company doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. That's fine. It's not a mandatory requirement that you or your company should have a LinkedIn profile. Please don't get this wrong. This is not a must-have requirement. These are platforms that offer IRCC an open source search to validate and verify your background. So if you do have a profile, if your company has a profile, it helps IRCC establishing, very quickly processing and verifying and validating your work experience, and so on and so forth. But if your company doesn't have it, if you don't have it, well, that's fine. That's not a problem. So many companies don't even have a website, even today. Pretty surprising if that happens, but it happens. And there is no mandatory requirement that you must have a website, you must have a digital presence, that's not how it works. But at the end of the day, if you have all of that, well, it helps. It helps in smoother, faster processing of your application. And if you can keep, so many times people say, I'm not claiming work experience, so what do? My profile is showing something different. Profile showing something different is not a problem. The problem is you not presenting the information honestly, truthfully, and correctly. That is where the problem is. You have different information, that's fine. You have a different background, that's fine. Mention it, show it. If you're not claiming points for it, show it in your personal history. You don't have to provide documentation for it. If there is other variations, explain. There is a letter of explanation. There is a client information section. Keep the information consistent. Provide proper information. Don't try to play too many games with IRCC. I don't think this version of IRCC is going to take it lying down. They have been raining down hell on applicants who are not providing proper documentation. So from your side, all I can tell you guys is that if you have a LinkedIn profile, if you have any kind of social media profiles, it doesn't matter what it is, please keep it consistent with the information in your application for your own sanity, for your own stress-free application processing. That's all I wanted to tell you guys, because this one has been creating a bit of a ruffle the whole day since morning. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you have questions, and I'm sure you have plenty of them, post them down below. Thank you so much for joining in. Take care and good night.